Feet. What would you do without this place?
I don't know. I wouldn't have chance to practice, and then when I go to like a Sunday league team or like a big club, I wouldn't have too much experience.
If I didn't find this place, I'd be at home right now, eating, drinking, like sleeping and that.
I'll just be sitting at home, not really doing anything. But I did used to go to a football club at my school, but I had to go. So yeah, that's why I really like it here, and I really like football.
I especially love the children, what they were saying, that they needed, a place for them, because as you said as well, it's not safe. I mean, let's be real, London, South London, it's not really safe for young people just to hang about in the parks. I wouldn't let my kids to hang out in the park by themselves. So I feel like you provide that safety. You really provide not only just a place just for that to chill, but also to develop skills for those that are passionate about football like yourself, and also that think of making a career, no matter which, like in the field or outside, but in the game. So I really like you bringing that to them, so it's really credit to you. That's fantastic. So what's next, you think?
What's next? I guess more sessions, to be honest with you. So yeah, what's next is we're nominated for 2 awards for the London Sport Awards on Thursday, which I think are Uniting London and Community Impact. So yeah, we're going there on Thursday. Hopefully can take both awards home, if not at least one. And what's crazy is that I used to work for London Sport for nearly 4 years. So I left there 2019, took redundancy, and didn't really have an amazing time there, to be honest with you. Wasn't really valued. I don't think my skill set and my experience wasn't really valued there. And it's just funny how it goes, really. I went for 4 internal interviews, didn't get them. And I kind of really doubted myself, to be honest with you, when I was there. I kind of gave up on my career. I just thought, I'm just going to focus on sports fun for all. And yeah, it's kind of funny how things go now. Like, I've set up my own organisation, delivering the most free football in South London, full stop. No one's delivering more than us. And we're now being respected and seen on this level where we're being nominated for these awards by these organisations that, when I worked for them, didn't really rate me. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of funny how it's happened. But yeah, in terms of what's next, I think just setting up more sessions across more boroughs. I think there's more. We could do more in Lewisham, but if we can find venues, but we're kind of nearly maxed out Lewisham now. So it's more about Bromley, Greenwich, Southwark, potentially going into Lambeth, Croydon, these kind of boroughs. And because there's a need for what we do everywhere. Like, football is the most popular sport in the city communities. And these young people can't access a lot of these facilities because they cost money. They're not free, unfortunately. Like, it would be great if these 3Gs were just open all the time. And young people could just go in and play, but they're not. So it's kind of like we need to be the middleman to bridge that gap to pay for it, so the young people can go in, which is a shame, really, because if they could just go in and access it, there wouldn't really be a need for us. There would be in some ways, because you'd still need the coaches and the positive mentors and whatnot. But yeah, it would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, these facilities are just, especially in the inner cities, they're really expensive and they're really hard to access. So yeah, I think there's a need for what we do in more areas. I think what you spoke about in terms of the safe places is crucial. Like, that's a massive thing. As I said, my MO is not to make professional footballers. I'm just looking to provide somewhere where young people can go to. We use football as a youth work tool. We're not a football club as such. So football is just a tool we use to engage young people. So the young people, actually, it's just somewhere they can go and be with their friends and socialise in a safe environment, because they're in school all day in a structured environment. Then they have to go home, and then they have a lot of energy to let out, and they don't necessarily get to do that at school or in their home. So this is a place where they can do it and chill with their friends in a nice environment where they're around people that will let them kind of express themselves and be themselves. But football is just the vehicle that we use to get them through the door to do that.
That's fantastic. Is there any way you can send me some leaflets? Maybe I can get people because I work in a school. I work in South East London, in East Ipswich. So I think a lot of people will be interested, especially those that have got so much energy. They don't know what to do with the energy, and they love football, of course. So please, if you can give me some leaflets, or is there anywhere just provide your website for my school, but I think a lot of young people will be interested.
Yeah, that's fine. We've got loads of flyers. I've got individual flyers for each session, and then we've got a flyer with all the sessions on, so I can just send that to you. I don't know where your young people live, but we haven't really got anything in that part of Southwark, but we've got stuff in Catford and Bellingham, which isn't too far, and Crystal Palace. So if they're willing to travel a bit, then there's sessions for them. Yeah, so that's not a problem.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've got 2 more questions for you. So my first out of the 2 questions, would you see yourself, let's say, go outside England? Let's say if Scotland, Wales, would you go outside England, or you feel like that'll be too far away? Would you see sports for all? I mean, I'm thinking my vision will be a UK thing, not just England thing.
Yeah. Potentially. Never say never. I think if it's outside of the UK, then I'm not going to really be able to oversee it and manage it as easily. And I think for me, like someone asked me the other day, why don't you set this up as a franchise? And I was like, that's not what I'm here for. Like, this is not something that for me, Sports Fun for All, wherever it goes, it's got to be my organization, like the culture and my values and morals and what I kind of believe in. So if it's in Wales or Scotland, if the people there don't kind of have the same values as me, then it's not really going to run the same. And that's even something like that was a big thing for me in terms of like growing Sports Fun for All, is keeping the same culture. And that's what happens with a lot of organizations, with whatever the field is. The bigger they get, kind of lose the culture. And that's why I really tried to like get coaches that buy into how I think and understand the culture that I'm trying to create. So yeah, I'd have to see who the people would be. I think London's a massive place. There's like 6-7 million people. There's football pitches everywhere. So I think there's enough in London to go around for the moment, and it's more easy for me to access and get to and oversee than it would be in like Wales or. I mean, in terms of doing stuff abroad, we could do like projects, one-off projects and stuff. But yeah, I'd be very kind of careful about moving outside of London. Yeah.
No, because you have a big team, haven't you, to oversee all of these places that in London currently. You do have a big team, because I'm sure you're not doing this by yourself.
No, definitely not. So that was another thing. So at the moment, I don't do any of the evening sessions, and I haven't done since before lockdown. Yeah, so that was like a huge mindset change for me to say to myself, okay, because before that I was doing everything. I did the weekend sessions and the evening session, and I realized that I'd go to the evening session after working in my day job, and I wasn't really I was going there, I was like, oh, I'm tired and I don't really want to, like, I can't really give it my all because I've been at work all day. So I realized that, yeah, firstly, I realized, okay, I'm not giving it my all. And secondly, I realized one person can only do so much. So if I'm going to grow and turn this into an actual business, a scalable business, then I can't do the delivery anymore. I've got to get other people in. But that was a huge mindset change for me, to give up responsibility to people and learn to delegate. So I've had to develop that over like the last 3-4 years massively, to the point now where I can be abroad on holiday and the sessions are running and I'm not even thinking about it. It's just running like clockwork now. Do you know what I mean? But that took a good 6 months to 9 months to get into that. And I'm still learning all the time anyway. But yeah, at the moment we've got, I think we've got 12 coaches employed by Sports Fun for All, and probably 75% of them are ex-participants. So some of them I've known since they were 11 years old. They're now 17, 18. They've come on board. They've done their introduction to coaching football. They've volunteered. They've shown me that they're committed and they can stick to this. And then, yeah, then they start getting paid and then moving up the pay scales, depending on kind of how they perform. So yeah, there's that as well. Like obviously there's the young people, but actually I'm putting people on, like I'm employing people, putting money in people's pockets, getting them to do something productive. And I said this to them the other day, like I said, you guys are success stories. You don't even realize this, but you're doing what you're doing at your age. Like I was coaching football at 16. I had a Sunday league team, but I was in a football academy and the guy picked 4 of us out of like 25 to go and coach because he knew we're the only serious ones. And it's the same with this. Out of these guys, maybe 4 or 5 of them come through to become coaches, but all of their friends contact me to become coaches. But when I told them what's involved, I don't hear from them again. So actually, even though I'm tough on them and I want them to improve and I set high standards, they're actually success stories in themselves because what they're doing, showing that level of responsibility at such a young age is massive. And it's very rare. Like when people get into their mid-20s, yeah, you become more responsible. But these guys are doing it in their late teens and early 20s. So yeah, that's a big thing as well, is like the staff and getting the right staff, and these guys are really positive role models in their community because the younger guy, like basically now I've got my pathway for my coaches for the next 10, 15, 20 years, really, because all the young people, like we engage like thousands of young people every year. All I need is 20, 30 of them, or even 10, 20 of them to become coaches. Do you know what I mean? And then that's the coaches.
Yeah.
And they will want to do that. There'll always be some of them that will want to do that and will stick with it out of that. So it's taken a while to get to that stage where I've got the pathway, but yeah, it's there now.
Fantastic. Honestly, Kieran, I want to say a big thank you for not only for all of the things you do, but out of your busy schedule to come in to talk to me, it means a lot. Because as you said, I work in a school and I want my students, and in fact, all the young people to be inspired, and you provide work for young people as well. I mean, I don't even know how to ask this question because usually I ask, what would you advise young people, right, to follow your footstep, to create something they have a vision of? What would you advise?
So what's the question? Just so I'm clear.
Yeah, okay. So what would you advise young people that one day want to launch or found a club themselves? What would you advise them?
A football club.
Or any club, like could be football. It could be any sports club like football, rugby, tennis club. What would be your advice to them?
Go out and get experiences. That's what I would say. Like I didn't set this up at 18. Like I went and coached. Like I said, I was running a Sunday league team when I was 16, 17. I did my FA level 1 when I was 16. I was meant to finish it at 17, my FA level 2, but I didn't. I was in America coaching in like 2000 when I was like 20, 21. So I got the experiences there. Then I came back. I've worked for Millwall, Fulham, Crystal Palace on their different kicks programs in various boroughs. So yeah, you need to go out and get experiences, meet different people, and yeah, then once you've done that, then you can kind of think to yourself. And the thing is, I think like a lot of people can be coaches, but they might not be good at the administrative side of things. So that's kind of what I guess that's kind of like my USP. I'm good at coaching, so I understand what good delivery looks like. And then I'm good at like the admin side, funding bids, governance, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are either good at one or the other. So yeah, I don't know. And you got to stick with it. Like I've been doing this 8 years. Yeah, there's been ups and downs. So you just got to stick with it. If you're like, don't just do it if you're going to do it just for like a flash in the pan thing. If you're not passionate about it, like my thing is football. If you're passionate about boccia, go and do it. You know what I mean? If you've got a passion for making young people want to play boccia, go and do it. But don't just do it if you're not passionate about it. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing as well with like the guys that come on board. If you're just here for money, I say go work in Sports Direct or Primark. Do you know what I mean? If you've got passion for football and sport, and more importantly, a passion for young people, then you can do this. So yeah, that's kind of what my advice would be, I guess.
I love it. Passion is a big part, but I like the fact you say experience, because it doesn't matter how much passion you have for something, but if you don't have the skills to fulfill that passion, so they go hand in hand together. That's a very lovely advice. Thank you so much. So I will send you my email so that my email or even my address so that I can get those leaflets. I want to say thank you, and I hope to see you in person one day. Who knows?
Yeah. Come down to a session. Yeah, the sessions, like you can just turn up and then yeah, speak to the coaches, and then they can tell you about the sessions. I'm not always there, but yeah, like
Oh,
you're welcome to come to a session and then see it in action for yourself, so you can see what I'm talking about in the flesh. But thank you for
definitely.
this. Yeah, but thank you for like I've never done this before. This is all
Oh,
new to me. So yeah, thank you for like taking an interest in what I'm doing and Sports One Football's doing and this opportunity. It's
no,
appreciated.
I mean, you say never done this before. I feel like there's gonna be more people like me gonna come and ask you what you're doing for young people because you have no idea what you give to those young people is
Mm.
gonna have an impact for the rest of their lives. So thank you, sir, so much. Next up,
No, thank
night
you. What's that?
knighthood. Next up,
Yeah, I'd rather a paycheck than a knighthood, but there you go.
definitely. Thank
Yeah,
you. We keep in touch, and thank you
yeah,
so much.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All
Thank
right,
you.
you too. Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.